Hey there, and welcome to my channel, Aeipathy. I'm so happy to have you here with me today to connect and share space over this beautiful tarot. We are going to be doing a wonderful reading for you today. Before we get started, I would just like to take a quick moment, very quick, to thank all of the lovely, gorgeous souls who have been engaging with my channel content more. I put out just kind of a little shorts video asking that people, if they've enjoyed the content, to please engage with it, interact a little bit more, because it does help me and support this channel quite a bit in my vision of what I'm hoping to achieve here. And people responded in kind, and it just honestly almost makes me emotional. It's so beautiful to see that exchange of energy and to have my request heard and heeded. And just know that if you're somebody new here that's made your way to this channel based upon that video, and that is an energetic exchange that you engaged in for me, it really means the world. And I'm so happy to have you here. I'm happy to have everybody here, of course, but especially those that, again, just sort of did that little extra step for me that I asked for. It really has touched my heart. So today's reading, if you haven't ever been here before, I like to do a lot of readings that are focused on high vibrational living, positivity. They're going to kind of encompass a wide range of topics. So we do zodiac-based readings here, love-focused readings, of course, readings centered on healing and high vibrational living as well. Today, that is one such reading. As you can see by the decks that I have put together for you, the piles I have chosen to construct with the decks and crystals in their coloration and their patterning, I have selected today's piles according to the theme of freedom and the idea, the concept of, freeing ourselves from anything that no longer serves us, how we can best move forward and, be on a more aligned path that's in line with manifestation and abundance and all those other beautiful things. And with that, I just thought, why not channel some beautiful independence energy? If you live in the US, you would know exactly what these cards and their colors are meant to represent. And I just thought it was nice. It's a nice little festive way to be a little bit extra in this month of July if you are catching this reading when it is first being uploaded. So hopefully it'll be a lot of fun. I am going to go ahead and bring each of the crystals up close for you to see so you can help select your pile. For pile 1, we have what I'm calling my caramel crystal. It's absolutely stunning. That is going to be with the Stretch Tarot. Pile 2 will be this red jasper, and that's going to be with the Birth of Freedom Tarot deck. And pile 3 is this gorgeous Iolite. Hopefully it focuses for you. And that's going to be with the Tarot del Fuego. I said Tarot del Fuego, didn't I? It's the Tarot del Tango. Okay, so go ahead, take a moment to reflect over each of these piles, whichever deck, crystal, coloration, timestamp. There's no wrong way to choose. Whatever is drawing you in most, go ahead and select that pile. I'm so excited. I can't wait to get into these readings for you, to decipher and bring forth, channel all of the source messages that they're waiting to present for you. So I will meet you over at your pile in just a moment. We'll get started on your reading. Hey, pile 1s. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. Excited to get into this reading centered on freedom, expansion. We're going to be specifically taking a look at what you need to release and kind of free yourself from. This is also piggybacking on an earlier reading that I didn't discuss in the intro, but I did a reading just a few days ago in honor of the full moon energy, and that was all centered on also the idea and the concept of releasing energies. But this is going to dive a little bit more deeply, kind of take a look at what those energies are. Maybe those readings will align if you've watched that one as well. And we're going to also see specifically how you can go ahead and free yourself and achieve, again, a higher state of abundant sort of, ease and flow in your daily living. We're using also the Stretch Tarot for you. This is a gorgeous deck that I haven't used nearly enough. And I think it's even out of print now. At any rate, pile 1, we're going to start, of course, with our tarot. We're also going to pull, ooh, what is that about? We're going to pull lots of oracle as well. Get very clear on what it is that you need to be focusing on. You know what? 8 of Pentacles skill. I'm going to set that to the side. I just feel like that's not a coincidence. Obviously, that needed to come out for a reason. So we're going to just see how that resonates. It may not fully flow into the full spread, but let's just see where that kind of ties in. In fact, I'll move this right over there. Okay. So pile 1. What does pile 1 need to free themselves from, Spirit? Can you give us some insight into where they need to gain freedom in their life, as well as supporting them, giving them some advice and some insight surrounding those energies? We have the 2 of Wands, which is Dominion in this deck. There we go. We also have the Fool energy. This is card 0, so the start of something. A new beginning is definitely on the horizon for you. We have more Pentacles energy. This is the 6 of Pentacles, also known as generosity in this deck. And the Knight of Wands, adventure. I always clarify all of my spreads, so the first row is going to be kind of the main presenting energies, and then we're going to restate those energies and clarify them to get more detail in the row below. So for the 2 of Wands, we have the Hermit. The 7 of Cups, temptation. Okay, so the Tower. And the Empress. Lots of majors coming out for you today. So, what do you need to free yourself from? First of all, it's important for me to highlight for you, pile 1, that there's a lot of abundance waiting to flow into you. I don't think you feel particularly abundant or stable and like life is panning out for you as you had hoped, that you're achieving everything that you are here for and that you're hoping to ascend to and experience. The Empress energy is a beautiful energy of creativity. It is of manifestations. It's of an abundant, beautiful lifestyle and a very secure energy. This is divine feminine energy. So this is being in touch with your inner emotional receptivity, your intuition, and also, again, your ability to manifest and create. It's coming in with the Knight of Wands, which is all about, as it states here in this deck, adventure, or again, the concept of development and creation, something coming into fruition, something new, exciting, different. It's very fast-paced energy being Wands. It's action-oriented. This is waiting and ready to flow into you. The problem that we're experiencing lies in this initial card, the 2 of Wands, Dominion. It's clarified by the Hermit. For me, this is literally giving me intuitively the impression that you don't have a good handle on your own intuitive spiritual body. The Hermit is a very spiritual symbol. It even represents the idea of an inward journey. So as we take time for ourselves, for that self-reflection and introspective phase, where we gain a higher sense of spiritual wisdom and understanding, we tap into that higher source energy, our higher selves or our inner being, however you'd like to refer to it as, that's where we gain all of that spiritual wisdom and insight. With the 2 of Wands presenting, which is often a card of decision making, and I see again Dominion presenting here, I'm just thinking of the idea that there is some sort of choice or decision or path that needs to be pursued, but yet you're not clear on what that is, what that looks like for you, how you need to kind of step in line with that to take advantage of that path, to be on that journey. You're again not achieving full dominion or control, measured, methodical, but also, spiritual control over yourself and over your sort of, feels like your spiritual imprint here. You are a very spiritually attuned individual, and I do think you have had many awakenings. You have also ascended, and grown in many ways, experienced a lot of soul expansion, but there's something tied to a particular, I think, growth or evolutionary step, evolutionary point in your path right now. You're kind of at a precipice of another leg up, another expansion that is waiting to unfold for you, but you're not taking action on that. This is something you need to free yourself from, is the idea of sort of like indecision I'm getting. Again, a lack of autonomy, of being able to command yourself and heed your intuition to make accurate, comfortable, confident decisions. We have the Fool here, which is literally about freedom. Look at this card. You couldn't get much freer than this. This person is dancing. They're feeling so alive, very free, very spontaneous and energetic and just happy. The Fool represents an energy of innocence, of new beginnings, of starting something perhaps with a naivety, but it's just a renewed sense of optimism and faith, sort of like just being ready for whatever lies ahead and stepping into and taking that leap of faith. It's clarified with the Seven of Cups here, known as temptation in this deck. So this is the idea of dreaming, of illusions, the concept also of idealism. I really think that this is aiding you. This is not abating, your ability to manifest. This is not something you have to free yourself from. This is more so the energy you need to step into once you make that decision and kind of, again, come into alignment with self, with what your inner being or your higher state of being wants for you and wants to help guide you towards. It's to get you to this new beginning phase where everything literally that you've been envisioning and hoping for and wanting to experience and have, occur within your life can begin to unfold for you, and flow to you easily. This Fool energy is one where there's a complete release of resistance. You are free and completely, spiritually open for what lies ahead. I'm feeling and hearing here that this tie-in, this idea of skill with this Eight of Pentacles, you're really focused on what you need to be doing. And this would be in the material realm, of course, being pentacles, but also look at all of these pentagrams, pentacles here in these flowers and this vegetation, it looks like. So this is representing tangibility once again, the idea of a 3D sort of a materialistic element to this. So you're really strongly believing that there's something you need to be doing or achieving and that it's tied to your aptitudes, your skill, your personal innate abilities that you possess, again, in the 3D at a physical level. And what I'm getting is that it needed to come out because it was important, but this is something you need to also free yourself from, is this limited line of thinking that tells you that you can only achieve based upon your experience, your skill, your ability to achieve success at a materialistic level. There is so much more abundance to be had. There's a lot more in store for you, and you truly can have a new beginning at any time. It has nothing to do and is literally not at all tied to your physical reality of the current present circumstances you find yourself in. That's exactly what I'm getting. What it has to do with all, in this entire spread is your energy. We have here generosity, the Six of Pentacles. So I'm seeing this actually as an opportunity or an offer of some sort. I don't know which end of things you kind of befall on, but we have the Tower here kind of clarifying this energy, is to say that this could be some sort of an area where you're needing to kind of, what I'm hearing is like level off and have a completely restored, renewed sense of perspective and thinking about this. And that's what's going to allow things to open up for you. That's what's going to allow opportunities to present themselves. So what I'm thinking here is you probably are, the typical imagery in the Six of Pentacles is there's one individual who's in a position to give, and another person who's in a more sort of downward position that is in the receptive mode, that is needing to receive. So I would say you're the receiver in this case, but you can experience, again, a lot of physical abundance and a lot of offers and changes in circumstances presenting in your physical reality as a result of, again, this kind of perspective shift, this alignment with self, this spiritual development. This is allowing the Tower to fall, and in combination with the Hermit energy, I really think this is kind of like being at the very edge of a huge spiritual awakening, a complete surrender and a release of resistance to the present circumstances, your present state of being, the way you feel things have to be, the way you've been conditioned to believe that life has to look or what has to happen in order to achieve XYZ. Again, it's all right there. It can flow to you very readily, very easily, but you need to free yourself from all of your personal limitations energetically that are preventing that abundance to flow. Let's get some more detail for you. I haven't even started with the Oracle yet. There's been so much information coming through for you, Pile 1. And this is okay. I mean, this energy is actually really, really beautiful. There's a lot of very happy, abundant, joyous, just, man, dead on amazing energy waiting to come to you. And I think that it's something that is discouraging to you because you feel ready for this new beginning. You know, you're kind of wanting to stop this or skip this initial step of needing to step into an energy of command and decision making and taking control and ownership over your own life, over your own energy, and how you are really literally the creator of your reality. And it's not life happening to you, but through you. You know, I think that's a really hard concept for some of you to integrate, some of those watching this pile. You know, but that's what's going to make way for this new beginning to sort of take place. And that's why it's important that you release anything that doesn't allow this to unfold, because it's all right here. I mean, it's literally on the verge. I'm kind of seeing like a dam building up and all of this water, right? The dam holds back water. And as the water is kind of maybe getting more turbulent, churning, the currents are picking up, that water is, all of the pressure of that water is pushing against that dam. And I'm feeling like that dam is about to break and everything is going to be unleashed. Think of water here as the abundant energy we're speaking of. And that dam is about to break and all of that resistance is about to just fade away and sort of, you know, ascend into or descend into the abyss, and we'll have in its place all of this beautiful you know, flowing energy, no longer that resistance, that blockage, that obstacle that prevents things from moving forward. What else does pile 1 need to know about what they can free themselves from? Worry, the 5 of Pentacles. Absolutely. Again, so much tie to the physical realm and like what's happening in 3D, and just focusing on that is like, that's, you know, gospel. It's truly not. It's all your energy. We have movement, the 8 of Wands. Justice, beautiful. And the 4 of Swords, rest. You know, this is a difficult message to relay, but for a lot of you, again, you've been delaying your own progress, your own growth. And I just think it's because you've been unclear on how to move forward. And so instead of making any decision or, you know, doing things that would be in line with what will allow things to kind of move forward, again, for this movement to pick up, you've just been taking no action, or you've been very hesitant. The energy feels almost stagnant, quite honestly. It doesn't feel like it's achieving much. This momentum, again, that's right there, that's right at the edge of everything, that's ready to flow, is being halted and stopped by this 4 of Swords. This is literally an energy of respite, a need to retreat. It feels like a cycling of energies. So there may be things happening and daily occurrences changing, you know, within, you know, I guess within your daily experience, your daily life, but it's kind of like rapid cycling through the same set of circumstances repeatedly. Justice is finally seeing that you can restore balance and make everything right and as it needs to be. I think there's a strong sensation that you feel, you know, of, again, worry, but also the 5 of Pentacles relates to this concept of a very deep sense of lack, of failure, of an inability to thrive, being left out in the cold, being at a disadvantage, just being in a very downward position in life. And this is something you can absolutely come out of. And as it indicates, very quickly you can kind of ascend out of this energy. You can transcend it literally into this justice concept of balance and a restoral of this beautiful harmonious energy that we know is possible for you. The energy of truth and reasoning and knowledge and awareness and seeking. And I do think that that's something you're constantly trying to do, but again, it's strictly with your 3D senses, and you need to lean more into, once again, that spiritual sense, that sixth sense, the intuitive side of things, for you to really get the clear answers on how to achieve this sense of balance and have all of that righteousness returned and restored to you. Before we get carried away, let's start with some oracle. I feel like we've got so many tarot on the table and nothing else to communicate with us. Let's get some more information for pile 1, please. What is it that they're needing to release, free themselves from? North Star. I think this is hyper focus. That's actually what I'm getting. Look at how huge that moon is there. You know, this couple is just literally staring out into the sky and really fixating on a certain focal point. And I don't think that's serving you, pile 1. First light. This for me is just, I'm getting trust. You're needing to trust, and you're needing to focus less on how things appear, or, what's going on surrounding you, again, in the 3D with your physical eyes. And you just need to trust. You need to have that spark, that fire lit from within. That's your intuition. That's your energy that speaks and really calls everything into you. It's not about what's appearing in front of you or what it appears to be as. It's really all about kind of what's beneath the depths. Look at how all of this water is presenting up above, and then this light in the palm of this person's hand is literally at the bottom in the midst of all of this darkness. So literally, like, everything is in the palm of your hand. You really just have to take advantage, stepping into that energy of awareness and clarity at a spiritual level, and you will be in tune with that. Those messages that help you kind of, again, transcend and step into this beautiful energy of justice, which is a great energy to have. I want to get some Moonology Manifestation Oracle cards as well, because I used these during the full moon reading. And if this is a reading that you're watching as a follow-up to that one, or if you even, pause this reading and go watch that one in return, I wanted to see if any of these cards will come out again, or if the readings will sync up since they're similar energies. New moon in Aquarius, open up to change. So not only do you have to be expectant of change, knowing it's possible for you, you have to actually be open to it, pile one. You have to allow yourself energetically to surrender and be open to whatever it is, whatever is going to present, whatever is truly for your highest good. That North Star is following sort of that path again to what is right, naturally made right. So there is a highest good for everyone. It's going to look different for everyone, and that is what we would consider our North Star, that energy that keeps us facing forward. And that's where you need to be focusing your energy as well, pile one. All right, and lighten up, last quarter moon in Leo. So this is an energy of kind of getting a bit more carefree about things. Remember, we had the Fool here presenting for you. So this is the energy of getting happy and just enjoying the process, enjoying life as it comes, and really stepping into that energy of optimism and faith and positivity, happiness and joy, and just sort of like a carefree energy. Think of the innocence and the naivety and just the natural vitality in life that children possess. The Fool is a very young, youthful sounding, appearing energy. And when you think of the Fool, you even think of somebody, it sounds like somebody who perhaps doesn't have a whole lot of skill or experience, but they're very happy, right? Ignorance sometimes is bliss. Children are incredibly happy. They're the closest to source energy in terms of our incarnated individuals here on earth, because they haven't been in our physical bodies for as long. They are closer to source energy, literally, and they can just embody this energy of the Fool, where they just charge forth towards whatever, lights them up, is making them feel, alive and happy and joyous and passionate. And that impulse, whatever that impulse is for children are incredibly, notoriously impulsive, and they really go after whatever it is that they feel in that moment. And you kind of are needing to channel some of that. Leo also relates to the concept of children. It's sun energy. So definitely lightening up is kind of appearing more childlike, or getting in touch with and playing more with your inner child. I really think that that's what that's getting at. And let's take a few from the Queen of the Five Elements Oracle. Support and tears. So I'm hearing that you're feeling, very discouraged because you don't necessarily feel supported by others, or you're getting upset because perhaps in some instances you're having to rely on others more than you'd like to, or to do so to any extent makes you feel very vulnerable, very weak, very not competent. Again, you place a lot of emphasis on your skill level, on your aptitudes, on your ability to command your own life. But, remember, at the very beginning of this reading, you're actually not taking dominion and, domain over your existence. You're not stepping into and feeling empowered as the driver's seat, of your own life. You're not stepping into that energy, essentially, pile one. And so, if you need some support while that's happening, trust also that the universe is always your support. They always have your back, and things are always working out for you. Again, with tears, I'm just getting the idea of a need to release, or a need to let go of everything that makes you feel sad and unhappy and that doesn't serve you. Again, that's causing you to stagnate, like we talked about in that Four of Swords energy, not allowing you to kind of move forward. This movement that's so ready for you with this Eight of Wands is just cycling and rapidly kind of circulating through that same stagnant, revolving energy because you're not releasing, letting go, and trusting in the support surrounding you, or not trusting just in the good-natured, natural well-being that we all are divinely deserving of and will experience if we are aligned with Source and allow that to flow. So we've asked now what it is that you need to free yourself from. You know what this is: limiting beliefs, stepping into indecision, about intuition. You know, you need to free yourself from all of the physical confines that impede and impact your ability to touch and, you know, engage with your intuitive side. And you now need to step into an energy of spiritual and energetic command and domain over your own life, so that you can take charge and you can get all of these wheels moving and turning, and this movement flowing, this motion going in the right direction for manifestation. That's part one. Now we're going to go ahead and ask, what can you specifically do to achieve this? Okay, what is the guidance? Like what is it that you can do in order to have this work out for you, so that you can begin to free yourself, start that process. Let's see what that looks like for you, pile one. Purity. We have virtue, goodness, a pillar of society. I'm getting, again, like a tie back to that skill card for some reason. We have wounded healer, wisdom from experience, humanity, and care. Just know that this contrast really serves you right now, pile one. I'm getting that strongly from both of these cards. Celestial encounter, heavenly from the stars and beyond the veil. Again, there's a very spiritual purpose and a very spiritual sort of a source from which all of this, you know, makes sense. You know, it's not for nothing, and it's truly easier than it feels to really get yourself aligned with the divine plan that allows things to flow more easily for you to experience more abundant manifestation. Purifying yourself, you know, for me, this is kind of like, again, I thought that it was a tie into this skill energy, but regardless, I really think what this is guiding you to as a practical step is to just, again, clear and release yourself from all of this energy, this pent-up energy of feeling things have to be a certain way, and really getting stuck and held up on how things appear in the 3D. Wisdom from experience. So take what you've learned. You know, quite honestly, all of these experiences have served you. You have to trust that they have happened for a higher purpose, a good reason. You know, I think that's going to help you in releasing. And we have anonymous, masked, hiding, and secret surveillance. What is this anonymous energy here for? Ice fishing, breakthroughs, increased self-awareness. So again, I think this is, you know, not being in touch with your inner self, your inner being. And that's really what you've been avoiding and what you really need to tune into with the Hermit energy. I want to get some specific detail and guidance on how you can do that. For this Hermit energy, please, Spirit, what can pile one do to get more in touch with and aligned with their true self? What is it they need to be doing? The Five of Swords, defeat. The Eight of Cups, abandonment. Okay, so this is about releasing all of the resentment surrounding your past and previous failures and not having that be tied to your self-worth or your ability to manifest in the future. Again, maintain that sense of hope and optimism. So you are not your past. Your past does not define you. And every new day is an opportunity for you to literally have a new life. It's a new chapter, a new experience, a new existence. Yeah. You can take ownership and overcome this energy. You can be resilient. You are a fighting spirit, pile one. But it literally abandon. You need to step away from all of this past energy, this Five of Swords, which just doesn't feel good. It's bitter, it's resentful, it's guilty or shamed. And just feeling, again, we had those fives presenting, Five of Pentacles and Five of Swords. Those are energies of transformation and transition. They indicate, you know, in reference challenges and changes and difficulty. As it also says, defeat. But you can let that go now. That doesn't have to be your life story anymore. And I don't think it is going to be any longer with that ice fishing card. I think there is going to be some kind of a breakthrough. And again, all of these things that are right there on the very edge to come to you, that are just waiting in the wings, those are going to start flowing real soon. And let's get a few more here. What else can pile 1 do to release and free themselves? So literally release your blocks. That is your blockage coming up over that 5 of Swords energy and the Hermit. Release control. So all of these are about releasing. This is surrendering to what is. It's earth energy. And again, you're very stuck in the 3D. There's a lot of focus on the earthly realm. And this is not where you need to be doing the work, pile 1. It needs to occur energetically at an energetic level. Spiritual level, and go deeper. So this is again getting in touch with self, with that Hermit energy, in touch with your spiritual self, with your intuitive side, that energy, that kind of like internal channel that is always deeply connected to source. It really will speak to you and guide you through these difficulties. You are supported, pile 1, and it will get you to the place you need to be. But you just need to kind of set your tuner to the right frequency. You need to be in the right frame of mind, the right state of being, in order to be able to go deeper and tap into those energies. Final guidance for you. What final guidance do we have for pile 1, please? Stillness. Yep, it's all in the energy, pile 1. It is not in your productivity. Retreat. So we had that 4 of Swords present earlier, and now here we have the retreat energy. Again, this is a call to inaction, in fact, and to just retreat. I also think of the Hermit energy, that spiritual sort of inward journey, that enlightenment that occurs in stillness, literally in quietude. And deep time coming up literally over go deeper. So this is about a call to getting in touch with the self, sitting in stillness, surrendering to what is, and working on your energy. That is what is going to allow all of this to free up for you, literally to free you and provide you with this freedom so that you can flow into an abundant state of being. So pile 1, I hope that you've enjoyed this reading. I was so happy to have you here today, and it was an honor to read for you. If you have enjoyed this particular content, I have lots more available in all sorts of playlists that are easily labeled and readily available for you to peruse right now after you navigate away from this video. Feel free to also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. That not only helps me reach a wider collective here on this platform, but it shows your support. It's a wonderful exchange, free energetic exchange, for the tarot that you've received today. Again, it's been an honor, pile 1. I so hope that you have found this useful. I'm sending you so much loving, abundant energy as you deal with these circumstances, with this freeing yourself from something that is so impactful and so necessary for you to ascend to the next state of being, the next level in your life. And I know you can do it. And I am sending you so much wonderful energy in the meantime as you do that. And I hope you take great care. Until next time, pile 1. Bye-bye. Hey, pile 2. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. We are using the Birth of Freedom Tarot for You by Taroko Studios. Love this deck so much. This is kind of the deck that inspired all of the Independence Day kind of festive-y themed readings that I've been doing in this month of July, if you're catching this reading when it is first uploaded. And we are going to be taking a look today at what you need to free yourself from. Now, I did a reading similar to this a few days ago for the full moon energy, and that was all focused and centered on the idea and concept also of releasing, what we can release and heal from. And now this is kind of going to be a piggyback, or kind of something that's going to expand upon that energy. So if you've watched that reading, or if you haven't, I would highly encourage you to maybe take a step back, go ahead and watch that one, or kind of get a refresher if you've already seen it, and then navigate to this one. There may be some syncs between the piles that you choose because they are similar readings and similar energies we're going to be looking into. Now with this, we're not only going to be looking at what you can free yourself from, but how to achieve that. So a lot of practical advice for you, all centered again around this concept, this idea of gaining freedom, so that we can ascend to a higher state of being and achieve and experience more abundance and beautiful manifestations in our physical experience. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started for you, pile 1. We're going to begin with the tarot, of course, get lots of oracle for you. What does pile 2 need to free themselves from? I suddenly got really like dizzy, disoriented feeling as I'm doing your pile. So give me just a moment. That was really strange. Whew. I don't know what that has to do with, but somebody's got something going on. Pile 2, we have the Ace of Cups for you first. The 8 of Pentacles. The Queen of Wands. And the 9 of Cups. These are my favorite images ever. These are Norman Rockwell paintings. They're based upon the artworks of Norman Rockwell. Beautiful imagery. It's really, really great. So in all of my readings, the top row is always going to be the primary energy. Then the underliers that are going to present, beneath are going to be the clarifiers to kind of restate and expand upon the energies of the top rows. So we have the Knight of Wands for the Ace of Cups, the Page of Cups for the 8 of Pentacles, the 7 of Wands for the Queen of Wands, and the Hierophant for the 9 of Cups. This is a very rigid way of thinking. I'm getting a lot of anger, resentment, kind of build up tension here for you, pile 2. And again, it feels uncomfortable. So I have anxiety, and whenever I pick up on like very negative energy, quite honestly, it makes me feel physically ill. So it kind of like ramps up my anxiety, and I felt like a spinning sensation, literally, like it was very, very uncomfortable. So it's not to say you guys are a bad vibe, but you're in some low vibrational energies, and I can definitely see that echoed in these cards here. We have the Ace of Cups coming out first, which would normally be a beautiful energy. But in this case, look at how these two individuals are not seeing eye to eye. They're connected, okay? So they're hugging, they're holding each other, but they're focused on two entirely different things. I don't think you're seeing eye to eye, or that there is a connection, a love relationship, or just someone you're very closely connected to energetically and emotionally. It doesn't have to be romantic necessarily. Make it fit how it will with your circumstances. This person that you are connected to is what you need to free yourself from and release. The Knight of Wands, there's a lot of like frenetic energy to this. So again, that idea of like the whirlwind sort of a feeling that I had when I first laid these cards. There's a lot of like ups and downs and tumultuousness with this energy of this person or this connection. I think, what it's showing here is that there's been like a lot of hyper focusing, a lot of intent and, deliberate work and effort put into this connection. And you're not getting much back, quite honestly, with this Page of Cups energy. Look at how this boy is just sitting there fantasizing and daydreaming all day. And Cupid's kind of, tickling and playing with his ear, but he's not doing anything. He's not acting. He's very sedentary. He's just sitting and having his little fantasy. He's not taking action. So, pile 2. For you, this is a release and a needing to free yourself from a person or an energy of a connection in your life that's causing you to just not be in balance, that's over investing, that's causing you to stay stuck and connected to somebody that, again, you're bumping heads or you're not seeing eye to eye. Things are not flowing nicely. The Queen of Wands with the 7 of Wands here is huge resistance to me. Perhaps to walk away from something. Look, she looks ready to sort of move forward, move on. But the Queen of Wands is a very passionate, driven energy, and she also can be very sexy, very in her physical form. And so this could be a relationship that is very physical in nature or very sexually oriented. It could be a friends with benefits or a very casual sort of a connection. Again, if it is romantic and kind of in line with that sort of an energy. If it isn't romantic for you, but this still relates for you, then this would appeal to me as just being something that is very challenging to you. It causes you to feel, again, a lot of strong and intense emotions, which is not to say you can't feel that also if this is a romantic connection. I think it's kind of across the board. This Queen of Wands, I immediately felt was like a mix of passion and anger. This is almost like love-hate stuff. So one day I think everything is going to be wonderful and we're going to be together and it's going to work out. And then the next day, I hate this person. I never want to talk to them again. This is not ever going to work. The 7 of Wands is indicating that constant resistance that's being built up as a result of that energy that you sit yourself in. I don't think you're able to maintain consistency. And this is the big reason why Spirit is saying this is a time to free yourself from this energy, because it is so up and down, because it is so, quite honestly underdeveloped and not progressing. It's taking up so much of your focus for little result or reward. And it's just not a place where it serves your highest good to continue to remain and to devote energy, time, and space to. It is messing with you at a higher level. It's causing you to act unlike yourself. What I'm hearing is that you're usually pretty balanced, and you're not prone to being super angry or resisting. But there's something about this connection with this Knight of Wands energy that really has a strong hold or grip on you. But I felt here also in the beginning with this Nine of Cups and the Hierophant, this is like rigidity. This is a refusal to let go and to allow truly your dreams to come true and come to you, to flow to you in a way that they are going to, right? Like what's in line again with the divine plan, what is meant for you and meant for your highest good. It's kind of like wanting to control and manage and hyper, micromanage every aspect of how this sort of dream or this energy of whatever this is that this is tied to kind of works and looks for you in your life. It's not serving you. I want to get a clarifier also for that Hierophant once more. Yeah, your rigidity, your refusal to kind of be more flexible and to sort of work with the energies that are presenting is what's causing a lot of this disappointment. And it's like this combativeness. So look at how these two now are different than this couple. They're facing each other, but it's not looking like the most amiable energy. It does look like, there is a discrepancy between you and this person. And it's not serving you anymore to stay connected at this level with them. It's really impacting you vibrationally and energetically. And it is ultimately going to kind of seep into other areas of your life because, again, there is so much focus and intent placed on this person or on this connection. So, unfortunately, pile 2, the message very quite clearly already here on the table from Spirit is about releasing and freeing yourself from a connection from a particular person. Let's get more detail for you, though. I mean, I know that that's not probably the answer you wanted, but let's get into some oracle cards here. Ooh, half of them are flying out on the table. You get some motion-oriented cards here that I'm seeing from the Deep Place Oracle deck, but we'll see what comes out here. So fullness. This is about, again, tuning into those lunar energies, those intuitive energies, having yourself sort of in the right frame of mind, the right focused energy, one that's attuned to spirit, to your higher self, that's in alignment, and that really can see the best way forward. That's not, again, so just restrictive and defensive and stubborn, refusing to see another way. This fullness energy is striking me as just really surrendering to what is. And then we have Vespers here. I'm going to actually look that up. I can never remember what that one says. But it's an energy really about release. Yeah, surrendering and allowing things to flow how they need to, releasing the control. It's not for you to decide exactly how, when, what, where, all of this occurs. It's really sort of a need to leave up the details to the universe. You put out your desire, but then allow it to unfold how it's meant to. You don't have to have such a tight grip on it, is what I'm getting for you, pile 2. So Vespers is an interesting energy. It is a space for contemplation, ritual, and prayer beyond the daylight hours, and an invitation to step more deeply into holy darkness. It's a space where you can embrace sacred shadows and look closely at what's being reflected back at you. So it's about reflection and contemplation. And again, just I feel and think of sitting in stillness and kind of gathering your spiritual wits about you and allowing that to be what moves you and propels you forward, and not kind of sitting in this energy of impulsivity and in heightened emotions, which, you should heed your emotional energy. That is intuition as well. But at the same time, this is striking me as just a little bit kind of teetering into an energy of distortion. It's not always your true intuition that is guiding you forward. There is a lot of, again, impulsivity, irrationality, and just fleeting emotions that are kind of clouding your judgment that way. So let's get a few more here from the Moonology Manifestation Oracle deck. New moon in Sagittarius focus on the positive. So I think this is what's really important too, is really seeing the bright side of things, seeing how you can truly have everything that you want, pile 2, but it's not going to come about, exactly in the way that you are forcing for things to occur. In fact, it's going to just continue to create this resistance to it being possible and actually manifesting for you. Assess the situation. So Virgo energy here presenting. Virgos are very analytical. They also are often worriers and people who need to micromanage and sort of, by no means is this dragging Virgo energy either, but this is about, the energy of astuteness and clarity and really tapping in and tuning yourself on to what spirit and source is saying to you and seeing the situation for what it truly is and not through that anxious, sort of stressed and again, exasperated energy, this energy of sort of being out of alignment and overly hyper emotional, hyper focused and just really out of sorts is what it feels like. Assess the situation to me strikes me as sort of grounding and getting to the heart of the matter and seeing things clearly. So you need to free yourself from worry or control and start seeing the positive side of things, which also includes, again, movement forward to you achieving and attaining what you really want to have happen, pile 2, that abundance, that joy, that wish fulfillment can come to you. But I don't know if it's going to happen in this current energy. There's one tie-in to pile 1 that is similar, and that's both of you kind of remaining in this energy where the same cycles keep repeating over and over because you're not, again, releasing and freeing yourself, sort of getting off the hamster wheel. You're kind of just cycling and recycling over the same sort of stagnating energy. Home and coldness. Both of these energies strike me, especially home, which is so paradoxical because it's such a warm, sunny day. It looks so beautiful outside, and yet this little girl is looking longingly at this house in the distance. It's almost like an energy of nostalgia, of missing something, of also looking back perhaps at the past, at memories, and coldness. Both of these being elements of being shut out or outside, being an outsider of some sort. So you have an energy that's really prominent in your vibration of being like an outsider, never feeling like you're one, of the crowd, or that you're important enough, that you've been assimilated into something. There's a really strong energy here about like being ousted or not being accepted fully, not being embraced, not being made to feel important enough and appreciated, and just like, again, always sort of being left on the outside with just your own self, your own memories, your own energy to sort out with. And while that's not a bad thing necessarily, again, we experience some of our greatest spiritual growth independently. That's exactly how that occurs. This would be more so speaking to like your real world experiences with others. It could be in this connection, it could be in others, it could be in both. History, again, just continually repeating itself. But this is an energy that needs to be released as well. Sort of almost like this orphaned sort of energy of like everybody always letting me down. Nobody ever fully, standing up for me or being there for me. I can never rely on anybody. I give so much and I don't receive that in return. I'm so drawn to these same people who keep doing the same things to me, or I've invested so much time in this connection. For some of you, this could be years you've been cycling with this person, and you just want there to finally be that reciprocation. You just want things to finally begin to flow and open up. Then you think to yourself, you rationalize it. I'll stop being angry, or I'll stop being in this energy of being, crazy when things start going my way. But that's not really how it works. And ultimately, what you need to understand is you have to resolve any, blockages from within, or you're going to just keep attracting in the same types of people forever and ever, ever. That will be the story you continue to tell, and it will be then the story that continues to unfold for you. So keep that in mind. I don't think that this is something that you may be consciously super aware of that you experience, but there's a lot of like abandonment sort of wounding here for you, pile 2. And that's also something that you literally need to abandon and free yourself from, because it doesn't serve you to continue to tell yourself that old, outdated narrative with this connection and in general. So now let's go ahead and take a look for you at how you can actually free yourself. We've asked what it is that you need to free yourself from, kind of the background of what's happening in that. And now let's go ahead and get some practical guidance for you, some steps on how you can take action to actually free yourself, to make this a reality, to get things moving. What can pile 2 do to free themselves from this energy? What do they need to do at a practical level? Practical guidance. 11:11, opportunity, timeliness, and pay attention. So we'll see how that relates in just a moment. Anonymous, masked, hiding, secret surveillance. This for me is about authenticity. So you're not being authentic to your true self. Again, I don't think you're getting in touch with those core wounds that you still have a part of you, and in your vibration, in your focus. And until you kind of address those are a huge part of who you are, pile 2. And if you don't reconcile them, free yourself from those limiting beliefs, those limited, outdating, again, like I said, forms of thinking and things that you're choosing to focus on, and just continue to kind of almost like beat a dead horse, doing the same things over and over, expecting different results. You're not going to get anywhere. It's about resolving that energy, really getting true and real with yourself, and embracing your authenticity. And that includes in the chaos, in the dysfunction, and resolving it, the karmic scales, justice, atonement, and karmic balancing, literally achieving balance, making things right. So what else? Spiritual alignment, seeing the greater good, focused on spirit. So focus on spirit and seeing the greater good, focusing on the positive. Those are 2 messages about speaking to seeing things as you want them to be, and seeing the positive side of them as they're currently presenting, instead of always just assuming the worst or focusing on what's going wrong, and then that being kind of the primary dominant energy you're operating in. 11:11 is interesting. I want to go ahead and pull another clarifier there. A date, social gathering, and nourishment. I think this is to say, you're divinely guided, and like you will have, with this 9 of Cups, you will have everything that you want, pile 2. It's coming, it's on its way to you. It's set up, it's ready, right? It just is all about timing, divine timing in this case. So some things you can work on and have control over. Other things, it looks like, are things that you're going to have to sort of wait and allow the natural evolution of your spiritual journey to sort of unfold for you. Let's get a little bit more practical guidance, advice, insight for you, pile 2. So first we have talk less and feel more. Again, that's stepping into the energy of spiritual enlightenment and alignment, wisdom, your intuition. We have reflect on your priorities. So we have assess the situation and reflect on your priorities. So 2 energies of getting clear on the situation. And by getting clear, I really think it means realizing where the source of all it is derived from, and not the outward experiences that you're having, but what needs to be resolved from within. And we have know your worth. So ultimately, like I said, getting back to this abandonment wounding, this is about not feeling good enough, feeling ousted, feeling orphaned, abandoned, alone, not appreciated, no reciprocation, feeling left out of, outside of everything. You have to know and feel your worth, and know that the value of you as a being of divine, birthright, literally, a derivative of source energy in human form. You are divinely protected, divinely guided, and divinely worthy just by existing, literally being in a physical body at this moment in time. So keep that in mind. I think this is super important to really get clear on those core wounds that you have from the past. See the situation for what it is, okay? Assess it, kind of reflect on it, or organize things and get to the heart of the matter. I think that's super important for you. And really feel into your intuition, seeing the positive side of things, stepping into that emotional energy. Talk less and feel more. You do have the capacity to get this situation under control, but I think in order to do that, you have to first free yourself from it. And again, achieve that sense of inner balance, that alignment, and that spiritual sort of focus once again. So pile 2, I so hope that you've enjoyed this reading and that it's been of help to you. If you have enjoyed this content today, I have full playlists available on my channel space that you can feel free to peruse through, with lots of other content similar to this. as well as shorts videos available. I'm also on TikTok, so go ahead and navigate over to that space as well if you are active on that platform. I'm doing all different content for each of the social pages I'm a part of, so there's always something new going on over there as well. And in the meantime, Pile 2, I am sending you so much loving, abundant energy as you work through these energies. I hope that you can take great care, and until next time, bye-bye, Pile 2. Hey, Pile 3, I'm so happy to have you here with me. We are doing a fabulous reading today focused on the energy of freedom. So I did, as I explained in my intro, want to kind of center this and focus it on the idea of freeing yourself from something, whatever that may look like for you at a personal level. We will see. And I just kind of took the inspiration from the month of July, which is the month I'm recording this, and if you're catching it when it's originally being released. The energy of independence, obviously, is a very important holiday centered around that in the country that I live in. And I just think it's always so important for us to experience the full expansion of our soul's journey here on earth. Life is about joy and it's about freedom. So let's see where you specifically, Pile 3, need to focus on freeing yourself, whatever that may be, a person, a certain condition, an energy, a state of being that you're responsible for, whatever the case may be. Let's get to it. And also, as I mentioned in the other piles, I did recently do a reading about the full moon energy, kind of another in line with this similar concept of the idea of releasing and healing. So if that appeals to you, I invite you to go ahead and check out that reading and then watch this one, because there could be some tie-ins to that. That was kind of my intention, to sort of play off of or piggyback and expand upon the energy of that reading as well. But we're starting with the Tarot del Tango that I called something else in the beginning, which was super funny. This is an independent deck. Bought this couple, like, I think last summer. Gorgeous. Love the red vibes. We are going to start with this gorgeous tarot deck and pull oracle as well. But, you know, quite honestly, for both piles 1 and 2 so far, like, having just the tarot out here has really prompted a lot of my intuition. I've had a lot to say. Spirit has been coming forth in full force before I even get the oracle on the table. So we'll see what happens for you, Pile 3. We're looking at what you need to free yourself from. Spirit can give us some insight into what you need to free yourself from, Pile 3. Let's take a look. We have La Estrella, so the star. This is, oh goodness, now every single time, I believe that is the 4 of, now, my goodness. I rarely use this deck, but you know, it's like so obvious to me every time I start to use it as to what these suits are. They're very different from the traditional suits, which kind of can be confusing, but I always like know what they are and then get caught up and confused and then doubt myself. So in making sure that I know what I'm talking about as the professional here, I need to quickly reference the guidebook. So yes, I believe that these are going to be the wand suit. Yeah, definitely the opposite of what I have always thought for those. So no worries, but it is the wands, 4 of Wands energy. We also have the 2 of Wands. And this is the 6 of Pentacles. I just have to, you know, video creators note, street lamps are light, they're illumination. I think of fire with that, and I think of fire energy obviously relates back to wands. And these would be pentacles to me. Like, why are these pentacles and these are wands? I don't understand. I'll never understand it. That's what trips me up. But, you know, I digress. Whatever. So for my readings, I always do the top row is going to be the primary energy, and then the clarifiers underneath are supporting and sort of elaborative energies to help speak to what these initial energies are saying. We have for the star, the 8 of Swords. For the 4 of Wands, we have the 7 of Swords. the Two of Wands, we have the Four of Cups. And for the Six of Pentacles, we have the Emperor. What you need to free yourself from, pile 3. You know, I think it's really strongly indicated here that you hold yourself back in a lot of different regards in your life. I think there's a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety, limiting beliefs. You know, we have here in this Eight of Swords, swords are mental energy, so it would be our thoughts, and you know, it's also relating to the energy of truth. So it's the truth that we tell ourselves, right? The narrative that we sort of go over in our head, that we tell ourselves within our mind, the story we keep repeating. There's a call to reconcile this and come to a state of peace and positivity and optimism about your future, no longer allowing the past or these limiting sort of ideals about your life, these traits of yours that you know, possess, of rumination and stress and anxiety and worry and resistance and restriction, you know, to continue to impact you. You need to free yourself from yourself, essentially. Oh my goodness. But in doing so, what's possible for you, what you keep avoiding or kind of preventing from flowing to you, is the ultimate stability, harmony, joy, and happiness that is evident in the Four of Wands. That suit and that card in particular represents and embodies this idea of just gorgeous alignment. You know, the typical depiction of the Four of Wands is a couple sort of ceremoniously celebrating. It could be at a wedding or another party or event. They look happy, they look content, there's joy, there's four. Fours in tarot represent stability, so there's stability and groundedness in this energy. And this is everything that you've always wanted, again, that's eluding you. This is a tie-in and a very similar energy also to pile 1. If you were drawn to that pile as well, these two are very, very connected. We also have the Two of Wands with the Four of Cups. So this is literally kind of like avoiding making decisions because you're concerned. Again, that's an anxiety, anxious sort of a response, but you're concerned about making the wrong choice, and also because of past failures. I think it's very hard for you to feel confident in any decision making that you do choose to enact. The Six of Pentacles with the Emperor. You're meant to be a guiding light for other people. I don't care what in the world they want to say that these are Pentacles energy. Fine, they're Pentacles. But I see light. I see illumination. I see a brightness. Someone that shines like a beautiful star in the sky. And somebody who has the capability to be a very measured, grounded, just put together person, you know, regardless of gender. Even though the Emperor embodies divine masculine energy, this is just somebody who has sort of like their worldly affairs in order, which I do think is an area of difficulty or struggle for you. It's somebody who feels secure, who can make decisions, who's not caught up in anxiety and negativity and loss or lack or anything related to the past. You know, this person is just bottom line confident. There's somebody that has command over their entire experience. Their energy is solid and stable and real. And this is exactly what you are capable of, pile 3, and what you need to step into, because you are meant to be that sort of guiding light, that beacon for others that are on a similar path right now. And really, you know, the Emperor energy is a leader. It's somebody who represents the father in the tarot, the person who leads the family, who is responsible for, you know, the happiness and contentment, you know, of, you know, I guess everybody. You know, they're in control, they're in charge, they guide. Even though the divine feminine energy in the spiritual realm leads, you know, in the 3D, which is what we're kind of referring to here, that's the energy that's definitely coming through for me. It's all about embodying a healthy dose of that masculine, that divine masculine energy. So there's a need to lead here, to take command over your life experience, to be that provider, protector, even for others through the experiences of contrast and evolving and enlightenment that you experience as a result of this. You're meant for really, really huge things you can't even begin to see right now. You know, the Eight of Swords also is like this element of of just restrictiveness, limitedness, not being able to see clearly, being clouded in your judgment. You know, again, the swords are thinking energy, so not seeing and thinking clearly, and yet there's so much promise and potential and abundance. This is a really like beautiful reading, and also kind of difficult energy to go through. Let's get some more for you, pile 3. What else do you need to free yourself from? You need to free yourself from believing you're not worthy, or that you're not meant for amazing, amazing things. And let's just be clear, okay? As a reader, this is a general reading. Take this how it resonates for you, to your individual circumstances and energy. But, you know, everybody is meant to do some wonderful things here individually, as well as for the collective, to support the consciousness of this planet and all of humanity, and, you know, source, of course. But there are some souls that are meant to do some really, really extraordinarily incredible things. You are one of those people. I mean, literally, this is like a light worker, healer, a starseed, whatever you identify as. It's going to look different for everybody. You're meant to do some super huge things here during your lifetime. And you need to free yourself from anything that holds you back from knowing that you are this divine spiritual energy, and you can have everything you want. And you are meant to be that light for others. And most importantly, you're meant to restore faith and hope and optimism for your own life, for your own existence. You're meant to see all of the goodness that you possess and what you're capable of. So we have El Diablo, which is the devil energy here. That's a horrible looking devil card too. Oh my God, it just scared me, made me drop all of my cards. Oh, we gotta keep it light here. That's a really scary image. Crazy. What else for pile 3? What do they need to free themselves from? The 4 of Swords. This is a need to rest, okay? Rest all of those negative thoughts. The devil, look at how the devil's just sourced out from all these different things. From, you know, could be outside factors, substances, influences of others. It's also coming from within, obviously. There's a second, smaller looking entity that's coming out of her mouth. So this is just a representation of the embodiment of that negativity and how it literally, you know, resides within us. And then, you know what it does, creeps out and looks horrible and scares tarot readers. The Wheel of Fortune told you, you have a very divine destiny in this lifetime with the Aeipathy, which is the Hierophant. I'm telling you, there's a huge spiritual endeavor, like, imprinted on your soul of what you were meant to be doing here. It is something so huge. It's almost like abandon all of this and free yourself from any energy that is not just in line and aligned with this beautiful spiritual divinity, this destiny that you have. What is this destiny? What is this destiny for pile 3 with this Wheel of Fortune? I want to see specifically what that is. We have the Hanged Man, the 6 of Cups, the 3 of Cups, and the 2 of Pentacles. Again, this is relating back to the idea of serving as a light and a support for others. You know, I think that what's happened in the past for you is caused a lot of instability in your life. And it's through kind of surrendering to that, the lessons learned, the experiences and opportunities for growth that occur through those experiences. You know, you're finding your way back to joy, finding your way back to self, and putting yourself out into the world. You know, you're meant to share your wisdom at a higher level with a lot of people, pile 3. Like, seriously, this is really crazy energy. You're meant to be in the public eye. There's something. What is this 3 of Cups? That's like community. That's the collective. We have the, I think this is the Page of Swords, and the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The 9 of Pentacles. One more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of Wands. You have a really resilient spirit, and through your attainment of your goals, through your, again, life experience, coming out of the depths, literally, of despair, of negativity, of this devil energy, of having a really, like, you know, there's just some people who have like a really difficult past. I don't know why I'm channeling this. I'm not even necessarily a fan of hers, but Oprah comes to mind. So it's like these people who are exceptional stories coming from pure poverty, some of them being on welfare, really facing a lot of diversity or adversity and certain circumstances that have impacted them for a lot of their lifetime. And then seemingly just they blow up, right? They attain a lot of notoriety. They become very popular. They have a broader outreach. They achieve a lot of material abundance. They impact and outreach to a lot of people. It's on par and in line with something at that level. Like it's huge, huge energy I'm seeing. You're meant to be really abundant. This Nine of Pentacles, that's like pre-Empress energy. And we have the Five of Cups here. So this is saying right now you don't feel good enough for that. I know you don't. There's a lot of disappointment and loss that you've been feeling about the past, about how things haven't panned out for you. And you're not seeing, you can't see. Remember, we had the Eight of Swords presenting. You don't have the wherewithal, the ability the consciousness yet to see clearly this spiritual sort of mission, literally, that you have while you're here. But you have to free yourself from all of the things that are holding you back. It feels like baggage, like emotional baggage, the weight of the past, the weight of failures and other people's judgments and opinions, because you are meant to shine, like literally. The Nine of Wands, you hold yourself back. Again, Five of Pentacles, you don't feel good enough. Both of those fives coming out, those are the signs of feeling unworthy and just undesirable, like a failure, someone who just isn't good enough to achieve those things. But you really are. The Six of Wands, you can absolutely have success in this lifetime. You're meant for it, pile 3. And we have the Ten of Pentacles, but it was in reverse. You're preventing all of that abundance from coming forward. It wants to come forward. We have this Eight of Wands coming out for you, as well as the Sun. Seriously, this is wanting to come out. And we have strength here. It's literally being held back. Absolutely held back. We better get some Oracle out here before I finish this reading and we don't discuss anything else with the cards. Oh my goodness, this is so crazy. So crazy how strong this message is. I was even starting to feel a bit tired. It's a little bit later than I usually record. Not a little bit, it's quite later than I'm usually recording these readings. And I was feeling a little bit like, oh, okay, I wonder how pile 3 is going to go. I would never read if I wasn't up to it, but I'm definitely starting to feel with the time of day it is and just the first 2 piles, like, the weight of the energetic sort of heaviness that exists when you read. And it gets you a little tired, but I'm feeling very regenerized now. Shoreline. So this is, again, the idea of always riding the perimeter, never achieving exactly what it is that you feel that you'd like to or that you're capable of. I do think there's one side of you that's very clear on all of the things that you're wanting or thinking there is a possibility that you could achieve those things and attain them. But then there's the other side that's like, probably not. It's like, that's what I see in the shoreline energy. The distinction between, I paused the video for a brief second to sneeze. I've also never, in all of the videos I have done, I think there's over 100, I've never ever had to sneeze during a reading. I think that's a very auspicious sign. I'm going to take it as that. But at any rate, I see this card, Shoreline. Look at how it's split energy. On this side, it's very surface level. It looks very barren and dry. And then on this side is the moon and the sun and this vastness of the universe. And it represents to me the concept of, divinity and that deep, spiritual knowing, that intuitive side to things. And how you're just at the very precipice of it and it's being held back. Again, it's right there. It's ready to come into illumination with El Sol. That beautiful sun energy. We have enchantment. Again, look at it. She's about ready to walk through that doorway and is on the path to a beautiful, beautiful life. Let me get a few more of these. These are beautiful, gorgeous cards. This is actually the Deep Place Oracle by Ray Serafina Barker. She's an awesome, awesome lady. And her newest Oracle deck, the Wordless Oracle, actually is finally out. I'm waiting for my copy. I'm so excited to add that to this channel. This deck has served me very well. Vespers, this also came out, I believe, for pile 2. This is about deep reflection and contemplation. I really think it's about getting in touch with the inner self, again, resolving those past traumas, maybe all of those like core beliefs that have been programmed into you, into your energy, and that focus in your vibration that says that you're not good enough or you can't achieve these things. You need to let that go and almost like erase and start over. Yeah, the veil represents, I think, again, slightly clouded enlightenment. So she can still see through the veil. And yet, there is concealment over her eyes. She's still facing and looking up at the light. And then we have this lightning kind of ready to strike, sort of coming down. She's in the water. And it's kind of like, again, this idea of like, it's right there. Everything is about to come forward. It's like one lightning strike away from just complete chaos, from things completely changing for you. What do you need to free yourself from, pile 3? Let's get some more energy for you with the Moonology deck. Moonology manifestation. Let your fears dissolve. Full moon in Cancer. Attend to the details. Last quarter moon in Virgo. And think it through. So let your fears dissolve. Again, we had the 8 of Swords coming out in the very beginning. Fears and disillusionment and not seeing things clearly. Attend to the details, but quite honestly, I think it's less about the physical details in your 3D reality, your life experience day to day, and especially with think it through. I think it's more about attending to the details by like getting in touch with spiritual practice and opening yourself up to, new thoughts, new beliefs, new programming, new things that are going to help you think through things and perceive things at a different level. A higher level is what I'm hearing, a higher state of being. Right now, your energy is so low, pile 3, that it's almost as if your ability, like the tuner that you possess in order to channel and tap into source energy at this level, you're not ready for it. You're not even perceptively able to connect, and you need to get yourself to a state where you can again, kind of receive all of those minor specifics and details. You're going to get enlightenment and insights coming through, impressions from spirit if you engage in spiritual practice at a higher level than whatever it is that you're doing. We'll ask that in the next phase of the reading, but it's going to allow you to see things more clearly, really think things through, and approach it with a fresh, renewed sense of energy. Let's just get a few more. Find a balance. Full moon in Libra. I think of balance with emotions, even though this is an air sign. Libras are very emotional, very sensitive, and very dreamy and loving, and I just think of all of those cups like energies with Libra. Finding a balance is about, again, discovery of truth. It relates back to, of course, the energy of justice with the scales presenting. So seeing the truth, seeing the reality of the situation, and balancing out those energies finally so that you can begin to move forward into a more beautiful energy of manifestation. So think it through, but clear your mind in order to do this. A lot of energy of intellect here. So this is less though about thinking with the 3D conscious mind and more so expanding your mind. Think of, opening up the crown chakra to receive downloads at a higher level. Using your mind to clear your mind, to literally allow yourself to receive those insights and impressions from spirit. And step up and lead. So then once you have, kind of gained your footing and tapped into these higher energies, this wisdom, this inner wisdom and power, then you'll feel inclined to pursue things differently. You'll feel guided on the right steps to take, in order to move forward and to pursue that path of your enlightenment, of your expansion, literally your soul's expansion. Let's just get a few from the Queen of the 5 Elements. I love this deck. Upwards and outwards, definitely where you're going, pile 3. I knew it all along. And nourish. Now is the time to just really, again, lie in stillness. It's not necessarily a need to do anything physical in the 3D, but it is about getting in touch with the self and tuning to spirit. And again, nourishing yourself, reprogramming yourself, reparenting yourself. Remember, we had that node to the past, that inner child energy, perhaps. Again, very strong ties also to pile 1. This is about nourishing the spirit and the soul, and really, again, connecting to source, you know, so that you can know your well-being is always dominant, and it's always, the universe is always working itself out for you. Everything is all in line with the divine plan. And that beautiful energy that I saw of like huge soul expansion and enlightenment and awareness, awakening, embracing this destined path that you have here on this, in this incarnation. I mean, all of that's going to be available to you, but you have to begin with the basics, is what I'm getting at. So we've asked what you need to free yourself from, you know, which is a lot of limited thinking and past trauma. And now I want to actually get clear for you, pile 3, on what practical steps you can take to do that. We kind of got into that a little bit, but I want to get some further detail, if I can, for you. For pile 3, what can they practically do? Practically speaking, practically minded, what steps in the 3D can they take to sort of free themselves from these energies and really get themselves into a better flow state of energy? So El Loco, the Fool, you know, just embrace a new beginning, a new way of living and being. The 4 of Pentacles. The Empress. I love that. And the Queen of Wands. This is stepping into your power and embracing your divinity, literally, with this Empress energy. It is so abundant. It is so beautiful. And there is something so, so special waiting for you. You know, right now you're remaining small. You need to stop being so reserved and cautious and scared. Or, again, I'm even getting like the idea of, this is a strange way of interpreting this card. I've never read it this way before, but this is almost like staying in those same energies of just cycling through the same things, staying safe, staying secure and guarded, and not expanding yourself into this new horizon of this beautiful Fool-like energy. Specifically, what does this Fool energy have to do with? What can they do for that? The 5 of Wands. The 10 of Cups reversed. The High Priestess. Tap into your intuition. Increase your spiritual practice. Pile 3. You're inhibiting your own happiness. You can have this new beginning literally at any time. That's what they're telling me. It literally can happen in a blink of an eye, in a moment's notice. You're struggling to believe that happiness is possible for you, and you have to release that and let that go. Heed your inner being, your higher self, which tells you at the core of everything, with your intuitive strength, you can connect to this energy that allows for this new beginning and the start of something real. And you can have that happiness. This energy can turn upright. This beautiful 10 of Cups, emotional fulfillment. You can absolutely have that. Clarifier for the 5 of Wands is the 3 of Wands. Planning, preparation, organization. You're doing so many things in the 3D to try and assure this happiness and success, and you're not tuning into spirit. That's where it needs to happen. That's what I'm getting. And, you know, the wand suit is the suit of spirit. With the Ace of Wands, this is the start of another spiritual leg of your journey, and it's one that's really going to have big output for you. The Page of Wands. Yep. Begin that journey. Step out into it, pile 3. And you're going to achieve that balance. Everything is going to be made right for you once you kind of unlock and align with that energy. Let's go ahead and get a few more cards for you. More guidance, please, on practical steps pile 3 can take to free themselves from these energies. Black Swan, an unforeseen event, a surprise in hindsight. I just think of the idea of like very clouded judgment and thinking, seeing the pessimistic side of things with that card. Pole shift, a change of heart, a turnaround, a reversal. Exactly. Seeing things differently from a higher perspective, from a more optimistic perspective as well. The clock is ticking. Time to act, preventable loss, and a deadline. Okay, what is that about? Celestial encounters, heavenly from the stars and beyond the veil. As I said, a huge spiritual celestial element to this. Like, it's so divine. I can't even begin to tell you how beautiful this energy is for you, pile 3. But the clock is ticking, and you are the one that is allowing this time to pass you by, because you're not stepping into the connection with spirit that you have available to you. Look at how this is an open doorway sort of in through that circle. And you really can step through and have some beautiful changes. Pole shifting, as it says. Don't forget your umbrella. Foresight, preparedness, and contingency plan. You know, I honestly think that it's really striking me as almost over preparedness or preparedness in the not right ways. So remember how in the beginning we had that 8 of Swords for you, pile 3, and that was an energy of like anxiety and worry and stressing over the wrong things, you know, not feeling aligned in how you're seeing things or perceiving them. And I think that that's kind of where we're getting this as well. With this upside down umbrella, all of the rain is coming in. So all of the preparations and plans that have come into play, and look at, we even have this 3 of Wands here, the idea of, again, organization and preparation, nothing coming to fruition how it needed to. And yet we have this beautiful butterfly that's positioned on the top of that umbrella, a sign of transformation and changes to come. You know, so let's get another clarifier for that. Commit to a path, keep focused, continue, and persistence pays off. So, you know, you don't have to have everything figured out right now is what I'm getting, pile 3, but you also need to stop kind of catastrophizing and assuming the worst and assuming nothing is going to come together. You need to commit to the path, to the higher perspective, and really trust and have faith in that. And you will ascend. That's what I'm getting. And a couple more Moonology cards. And then we're going to close this off here. We have New Moon in Libra, know you are loved. So know you're divinely worthy, you know, just by your birthright, you know, universal acceptance. The universe, source, always has your back, is always looking out for you, and loves you unconditionally. And that's all you need to feel competent, confident, and again, worthy, to be able to achieve all of these wonderful things. Reveal what needs to be seen. This is about you, again, shining your light, stepping into, you know, what needs to come to the light of day and be shared with others. And shine, exactly. Oh, I can't even stand it. New Moon in Leo, shine, exactly. Step into the public eye, step into your light, pile 3, and share that with the world. So pile 3, I so hope you've enjoyed this reading. This has probably been my favorite today. Such gorgeous energy, a really enlightening and I think inspiring, exciting outcome for you. I hope that this energy has resonated with you and it's brought you some clarity, that it's reached you and touched your soul. If it has, please let me know. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. Feel free to peruse my other playlists I have available with other content, similar videos. As well as follow me on TikTok. I'm posting a lot of content over there in that platform as well. Different content than what you'll see here. I do different readings according to the social space I am engaging in, but it's really fun over there as well. Not as full of readings, but certainly some really unique and interesting topics for reading on as well. So in the meantime, pile 3, I so again have hope that you've enjoyed this reading. It's been excellent energy. It's been an honor to connect today and to share these messages with you from Source. I am sending you so much loving, abundant energy as you work through these shifts and changes. And I hope you take great care until next time, pile 3. Bye-bye.